Fluke is a short story by Romesh Gunesekera. Fluke is from the first-person perspective of Vasantha, while the story is set in a marketing conference titled Marketing, the Secret of Success in Kalatura, Sri Lanka. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe. The Sri Lankan Civil War is referenced several times in Fluke. From 1983 to 2009, Sri Lanka was engulfed in a devastating civil war, tearing apart the island nation. Primarily fueled by ethnic tensions between the government and the Tamil Tigers, who sought independence for the Tamil minority. The conflict had deep-rooted causes stemming from Sri Lanka's colonial past. The toll was immense, with over 100,000 civilians and 50,000 fighters from both factions losing their lives in the conflict's brutality. Although over now, the impact of the Sri Lankan Civil War is felt strongly throughout Gunesekera's Fluke. The protagonist, Vasantha, had retired from his office job and now drove a minibus to support himself. His decision is impacted by the fear and dread caused by the now-ended civil war. Vasantha says, "I got my pension from the old corporation at 55 and decided to do only what I love, drive. I could have got another office job in some private company, but who would want to work in Colombo if they didn't have to? That was the time when you had to go through security even for a pee, and the building might explode any day with some suicide bomber in a pink sari. No one believed the war would ever really end." During Mr. Wirakun's journey to the conference center and his time there, a noticeable inner struggle is apparent, suggesting he is consistently trying to prepare and pep talk with himself mentally. This internal conflict is perhaps expected given his upcoming marketing presentation. However, contrary to the confidence one would anticipate from a presenter, Mr. Wirakun exudes a palpable lack of assurance until he begins his speech. Vasantha observes that Mr. Wirakun's presentation offers little insight, indicating a lack of substantial learning from him. "The few bits that I could follow seem to me to be plain common sense. Figure out what you want, what your customers want, and when they want it. The other stuff about bell curves and market segmentation and www. Seems so much hot air." In reality, Mr. Wirakun seems to be peddling something unnecessary to his audience, who remain unaware of this fact, reflecting a sense of ingenuousness in his actions. The misplacement of his phone and loudly preparing the presentation in the van serve as prime examples. From turmoil emerges tranquility. Besides Mr. Wirakun's phone mishap and unease regarding the conference hall's projector equipment, everything proceeds smoothly. Symbolically akin to the aftermath of the Sri Lankan Civil War, where normalcy gradually returned, allowing for prosperity to flourish anew. This context sets the stage for the marketing conference, a venture likely unattainable during the conflict. The retired Navy officer, Lucky's proposal for whale watching suggests a shift in military priorities post-Sri Lankan Civil War, indicating adaptation to changing circumstances and peaceful times. "The war is over." He spoke in a mix of Sinhala and English. "We have ships doing nothing. So now they have started whale-watching cruises for tourists." Aside from Lucky's efforts to promote whale sightseeing, there's a notable absence of military presence in the narrative, indicating a period of relative calm in Sri Lanka. The scarcity of marketing conferences during the war highlights the significance of Mr. Wirakun's perception of success in the current scenario, despite some vacant seats. As he engages with an attentive audience, the rationale behind Vasantha's decision to browse through Mr. Wirakun's phone remains enigmatic. Undeniably, this action breaches Mr. Wirakun's privacy boundaries and trust. Perhaps, Vasantha is stealing sensitive personal or financial information from Mr. Wirakun. Or perhaps, Vasantha perceives it as a strategic move to promote his business interests. While Vasantha's marketing efforts may not rival Mr. Wirakun's extent, they promise comparable success by attracting potential customers. It's noteworthy that amidst attendees seeking marketing guidance, Vasantha stands as a self-sufficient entrepreneur, a one-man one-van business, unaffected by such concerns. Leveraging Mr. Wirakun's phone, Vasantha navigates this landscape adeptly, securing his business endeavors without relying on academic marketing strategies. Hope you like, share and subscribe for more videos.